All right, episode 3, The Profligate. What are
Yeah,
your
so,
thoughts?
so I believe we start off. We see Thaddeus again, Chain Gang playing by
Yeah,
Sam.
yeah, that's right. What do you feel about that? Him upgrading. He's sort of a manager now. S-
Well, I thought what he
Small
was doing there
business.
was
Small
great.
business.
As he told the kids, most kids would be dead by now or whatever.
Yeah.
And he has a good point. Oftentimes, labor like we saw with Thaddeus at the Sunset Sarsapilla factory, I believe that's what it was. That's a necessary step forward in society. So I applaud Thaddeus. I applaud Thaddeus for being so progressive.
Yeah, progressive's a good word because we clearly see he has no bigotry of employees. He's got ghouls and non-ghouls.
Absolutely, and let's be honest. What would those kids be doing if it weren't for Thaddeus? They'd be out they'd be dead.
Very possibly.
Also, to be honest, they kind of seemed happy there.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
maybe not that one kid that was getting bullied, but
well,
Thaddeus put a stop to that.
muties are going to get bullied. Muties are muties, so.
Yeah, you got to own it. If you own it, then no one can use it against you.
That's right. I feel you got to feel bad for some of those kids. As we'll see later on in the episode. They're lumpy. Their
I don't know,
noses
you
are.
know, do you know how many annoying days I wake up with a sinus like ache? I can't breathe through my nose. I don't think
Yeah?
those kids ever have to deal with that.
Yeah, they're privileged.
Yeah, really, they don't know how good they got it.
They got ghoul. They have ghoul privilege, I guess. Maybe. So, I think next, actually, we cut to Lucy and how she's captured by the Legion.
Yeah, we pick up pretty much right after the last one,
Yeah, and she's being
or where we
told
left
about
off with her.
she's brought before the new Kaiser, and they're talking about turning her.
Well, we see the legate, the new legate,
Yes, Macaulay Culkin.
Legate McAllister.
I don't.
What'd
Did
you
they
think
give
of
him
him?
a name? Did they give him a name in the show, or did?
I don't think so. I paused it because Amazon Prime has that, like, you pause it and you get the casting list, but
Right.
I didn't see his name pop, or I saw him. I think his name popped up, but it didn't have a character name. I saw someone in the comments use a name to describe him, like, and I don't know where they got it from, but I can't even
Right.
remember what it was. So I guess we'll just call him the leg. I don't think he's supposed to be Linnaeus. So
Yeah, we'll call him Leggett McAllister, Leggett Kevin,
McAllister.
Leggett Kevin, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Kevin the Legate.
Yeah. Anyways, I thought it was pretty funny. I just feel like whenever you see him, you can't like separate him from Home Alone. So it just feels strange to see
Yeah.
him in anything.
Yeah.
Um,
He shows up. He's pretty no nonsense. He like immediately has that slave from the last episode beheaded, which makes her look even stupider for her coming back. But
yeah, so stupid. Lucy's got to throw out this golden rule stuff, I think. Yeah, so honestly, but people are saying that the Legion's lost their aura. I think that the costumes and the way they look and everything
Yeah,
is perfectly
yeah.
fine.
I do think Kevin the Legate looked a little awkward, maybe. But I think
Maybe.
I think that just might be the costume itself. I feel like that might be a little awkward to translate into live action, like that whole
Yeah.
design. But I know there's a fan film that's I actually used to love it. I used to watch it all the time, but even at that, I feel like it looked a little awkward.
Yeah, it's a pretty magnificent set of armor. I feel like that is a little bit difficult to translate in the live action, probably.
Yeah,
They did translate
think-
the power armor well, though.
yeah. Overall, I thought they still looked good. I thought all the costumes looked good. They kept this. They kept the brutality. I feel like we see them ripping people's teeth out. Like we see them whipping the slaves. They're still
Yeah,
obviously still crucifying people.
Yes, and they want to turn Lucy into breeding stock, and they talk about whether she's a virgin or not, and talks about how she's not a virgin, and that's not even counting all the cousin stuff she did.
Yeah, well, we remember that from Chet.
Yes, absolutely. Chet, I mean, the guy moved up in the world. There's no doubt about that.
But they bring up the prima nocta, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
And she immediately, like, I've been seeing people online saying she failed the intelligence check because she criticizes them for using the hard C when you're more of the you'd know more about that, wouldn't you? About what the proper pronunciation would be?
For Caesar.
Yeah.
I thought that the Kaiser thing was sort of like a meme. Like, I don't want to say a meme, but like, it's sort of a funny thing that the writers did in the game just to make him look a little bit dumber, to be honest. Like, I mean,
I don't really know. I know. From what I've seen, that people are saying that Lucy is referring to like church Latin, which is the soft C, and Roman Latin is the strong C.
I didn't know that.
I'm not versed enough in linguistics to know for certain. I do know that, like, you look back and you see like certain words of the time period that, like Corinth, the city in Greece, it used to be spelled with a K.
Right.
And like antiquity, but so I don't know. But I saw people say she either failed a intelligence check or she failed a speech check. Either way, it didn't turn out well for her.
Yes, I mean, I'm not really that up on ancient Rome, to be honest, but I've never heard anybody pronounce it as Kaiser in real life, so I just sort of assumed that was a joke from the writers to make Kaiser look kind of dumb, sort of like when he was talking about Hegelian dialectics and reading books and all that. But
well, we quickly found out that Caesar isn't even with us anymore.
Yeah, thankfully enough. This is just more evidence that Mr. House won Hoover Dam. I mean,
yeah. I do think it would have been interesting to see that Caesar with Lucy, since Lucy's somewhat intellectual and he's also somewhat intellectual, but
he tries to be.
Yeah, he tries to be. Yeah. He took intro to philosophy.
Yeah. He probably found some random philosophy book somewhere and
philosophy for dummies.
Yeah, and also probably some random history book as well, I imagine. And he was like, "Wow, these ancient Romans, they look cool." That's pretty much all the Legion is. I mean, again, I respect the Legion more than I respect the NCR because at least they take it all the way. At least they're honest. Yeah. They have a little bit of integrity, unlike the NCR.
At least they're upfront about them being, authoritative.
Yeah, because the thing about the NCR is, they're just a bunch of second-hand thieves who act like democracy, they're advocates for liberty, so they claim, and democracy, which is incredibly illiberal, but we're not going to get into that. It's absolutely disgusting is what it is. They talk about all of these disgusting things when they're just... They talk about all these things when they're just disgusting thieves at the end of the day who want to tax everybody. And maybe the Legion is actually a taxation rebellion. I don't know, but I would support the Legion and what they do against the NCR if they are an anti-tax rebellion. They are more than
I think it's a little hard to peg down because I don't think there is any sort of society in the Legion yet.
Yeah,
I don't think they have like a home base. They're just kind of nomads, I think. I think that's why they want Vegas so bad to use it as like a home base. I think you could talk to Caesar about that he needs like a Rome for his empire to essentially establish itself.
Yeah, actually, I should probably take back what I said because now that I think about it, I'm sure that Caesar. I'm not going to use the hard C because I don't respect him of being, aligned with Mr. House. I have to imagine that he forces people to pay tribute, aka taxes. Yeah. So I take all that back. He's definitely not based. And even if the Legion is a taxation rebellion against NCR, they're still forcing people to pay taxes. So I can't support them. Still better than the NCR though.
Yeah, and I think like we see the Caesar's body, and
yes,
which I think is fair. Like, even though I would have liked to see the character, like, it makes sense. Like, the guy's
Yes.
like, I think in game he's supposed to be in his 50s. He's got his brain's getting eaten by cancer. So, like,
Yeah.
even if you do like treat him, I'm pretty sure by like 20 years later he probably would be dead.
Um,
I do think it looks like he didn't die too long before the episode. Like, what did you think about that? It looked like it was
um,
fairly recent.
so I think the reason they did this is probably partially like a pragmatic one, just because they didn't want to actually cast somebody to be Caesar in the
Yeah.
show.
Like, if you do it, it's going to have to be the voice actor, I think. John Doman, which he does have live action credits, but he's like 80 right now, which probably would have fit the character because he'd be in his 70s. But
did they
I don't know
model
if sorry,
in the
what's that?
game? In the game, did they model Caesar after the actor at all? Like, is there a resemblance there?
There are resemblance, yeah. Like, New Vegas. I mean, you could see what the character models look like, but
Yeah.
yeah, there's a resemblance to it. It wouldn't have been hard to make it look like the character.
Right. Well, that's actually that's interesting, because I guess with an older game like New Vegas, where the character models aren't quite as like detailed, you can get away with like live action casting a little bit more. Like it doesn't, because obviously like when you're casting somebody in real life, I mean, it's gonna be a lot different than a game that came out in like 2010.
Yeah, like, you got to get someone like the fans really want, or like the original voice actor, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Like, actually, something interesting that I noticed, and this is jumping ahead a little bit, is that I was looking at the X-ray on Amazon Prime, like the thing that you pull up and it shows the actors for the characters.
Yeah.
And when Mr. House was on screen, it showed Justin Theroux, but it didn't show the name Mr. House, which was kind of strange because we already know he's Mr. House. We already know that.
Which is also weird because they have him as Robert House in like the little character bios that they themselves released. So we'll see. We'll see. I did have a theory earlier while I was at work about it, but
all right.
We'll get to that later. We'll get to that later. Right now we're at the Legion, and I'll be honest, I really did like it, the scenario in which the Legion is in, because it did feel kind of like a quest you'd find in a Fallout game.
Yeah, that is true.
There's just two factions, like, just gunning each other down. You can either, like, side with one of them. You can be diplomatic. You could probably just wipe them all out. Like it felt Fallout to me. So I really enjoyed it.
I also think it really put into perspective just how weak the Legion is at that point, because you have these two neighboring factions of the Legion, and they're fairly small, or at least it seemed to me that they were fairly small.
And we see later, like, again, jumping ahead, when at the Brotherhood meeting, we see the map behind them. It did look like there were other pockets of Legion on the map. So I'm assuming it is like a kind of like Alexander the Great situation. Like, they lost, like pretty much everyone in New Vegas does predict, like Joshua Graham, Mr. House, like Ulysses. I think Ulysses. Like, they all say, like, after Caesar dies, it's pretty much it for him.
Yes. I mean, we did, that's just a testament also to how genius Mr. House is, and what a visionary he is, not just on the technological and economic front, but also on the strategic and political front. There's just nobody like him.
Yeah.
I mean, Joshua Graham, of course, had a much more up close and personal, experience with Caesar. Of course, being a former member of the Legion himself, right? So,
yeah,
not hard for him to see something like that. But Mr. House, I mean, he's been in the little pod forever, and he just happens to know all this stuff. He's just so brilliant.
Well, he's got 200 plus years of studying and learning.
I think it's sort of like Mr. House is sort of like in this situation similar to a Greek god, where he's just in the background, just sort of spectating the drama that's going on all over the wasteland and just kind of getting a kick out of it.
I mean, you're not wrong, because he's kind of a sort of silent, like,
spectator,
like even over the strip where he actively governs, like Like they say, like he's not really, in their face, right? Like the Omertas call him Mister Not at Home or whatever. They don't feel he's, I guess, authoritative enough. Like
Yeah. Again, a testament to the fact that he's not a dictator despite being an autocrat. I think that there's a big difference between those things in the case of Mr. House. But yeah, I feel like, Mr. House does get involved, of course, with Hoover Dam, but even so, I mean, not even really that directly. I think he's just sort of doing this for the love of the game, for his own entertainment.
Maybe.
I think, 100 years from the time the show takes place, I mean, the entire Milky Way will be colonized.
Well, people have said that that might be the story behind Starfield.
If that were true, I definitely want to play Starfield, but until I see evidence pointing to that, I don't think I will. Well, actually, I might be able to make my character Mr. House.
Maybe.
They better have that mustache in there.
I haven't played that in like a year, so I can't even remember.
Yeah.
But I think after that, we cut to the Brotherhood, don't we?
Was it the Brotherhood or was it the Cooper Howard flashback? I think it might have. I think it was actually the Cooper Howard flashback.
Yeah, maybe. I think you're right. Because Lucy gets thrown up onto the cross. They don't actually crucify her; they just throw her up there.
That's a good point. They should have put some nails in her.
Which means they probably were like just trying to weaken her to probably use her as a slave later. It probably was like an execution thing, but
well, I mean, healthy breeding stock, right? You need to.
Yeah.
You can't be too picky about what you're, what's reproducing. Then again, I mean, she does have. Again, no offense, but she has alien eyes and stuff like that. So maybe they were scared she was a mutie.
Possibly. Well, I think Raoul says that the Legion doesn't really. I think Raoul says like something about them not really being too picky about mutants, but we don't really see any ghouls in the Legion. So
that's right.
Because Raoul's like the only companion is somewhat sympathetic towards the Legion.
Yeah, that's right, actually. Yeah, I remember that. But again, like, alien eyes, Shet moved up in the world. He moved on
from alien eyes to one eye.
Yes. Yeah, yes, that's right. Eye patch.
We didn't see them at all in this episode.
Yes, I was actually
episode, did we?
No, that's right. I think we've gone 2 episodes of getting any Stephanie lore, and of course in episode 2 we also didn't have any Mr. House, so that was like the worst episode ever. There's some good parts, but
we see Cooper Howard. He's watching his wife pack the little Vault-Tec goodie box. Apparently, he's been sort of like their inventory. I guess they can only put a little bit of in it to take with them.
Yes, I'm sure that they're gonna spin it in some way where Barb is like, actually still a good person after all this, and it's like, no, she's not. Okay, she's a horrible person.
There's no, like, I saw someone say that she's got the Mr. House mind control chip in the back of her head. I was like, I don't think that
doesn't make any sense.
Especially seeing as even the Vault-Tec ones we see in the episode 1 in the Comic Vault, they still make the head explode.
Like, if they make it so Mr. House somehow got that chip on the back of her neck and Mr. House single-handedly caused all of the nukes being dropped, I will not forgive them.
Like, it makes no logical sense, because even the perfected ones that Hank was working on a few episodes ago, it might have been last episode, like, they were still malfunctioning and making their heads explode. Like it would make sense at all. But she's just a horrible person, or a weak person. Which indirectly makes her horrible. Right?
Yes. Yeah. Well. Yes. If she's not standing up for what's right when she has a choice, she's still a horrible person.
Yeah.
I mean, she's in the house crying. And she's crying because she's like, "Oh no, I'm getting all these nukes dropped, and My daughter can't take her dog to the vault, and it can't take some of her toys or something like that. I'm going to cry about that. It's like, no, maybe you shouldn't have let these bombs drop in the first place. It's just horrible.
Well, to be fair, we don't know if they actually did drop the first bomb. We know they're planning on it, but
Yeah, that's a good point. We don't know, but it definitely does seem like they are partially responsible for this.
yeah, probably they're at least probably like nudging each side closer to dropping the bombs. But
I mean, this is a show on Amazon Prime Video. Like, it's almost definitely the case that Vault Tech is responsible.
possibly, I was watching a podcast with the original creator, Tim Kaine of the 1st Fallout, and he accidentally lets it slip in it that the original idea was it was China that launched first. But,
Well.
But of course, you know, it's Bethesda's IP. They can do whatever they want with it now. But
No, they could make it the case that Vault-Tec somehow sort of or baited China into doing
yeah,
it. That would work.
Supposedly, the lore is that China found out that America was experimenting with FEV, like like the biological warfare thing they were working on, and that's why they rushed to launch the nuke or whatever.
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
Which could still be the case. We see some interesting things in the commercial for the next episode, but we'll get to that. We see they immediately go to the little veterans meeting after that, right?
Yes, that's right. He goes to see his pal Charlie, and I have some things to say about Charlie. Charlie's a
I'm sure you do.
horrible human being. He said, carry on, actually.
Well, it's a little veterans meeting. We get the little politician, the most uncharismatic politician I've ever seen, come up and dropping her notes. She says she's the only candidate in Washington that has not accepted corporate money, right?
Yeah. And I would respect that if it weren't so blatantly obvious that she's a communist. I mean...
Yeah. I wonder how much money she's taken from Israel.
Yeah, I mean, as we saw, I sent you a reel before that proved that Mr. House does not take any money from anybody.
What is it? OPAC? Is that what it is?
I don't remember. In real life, it's APAC, right?
APAC. OPEC is like the oil thing, I think.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, Mr. House was the only character that doesn't take anything at all.
Yeah.
That's canon.
But, yeah, he goes... Like, yeah, he immediately, obviously like a normal human, he's concerned about his new friends trying to get him to murder someone.
Yes. And, Charlie DePinko.
It's instead of being a rational human, he immediately tries to manipulate someone who's supposed to be his friend into committing this murder as well.
Yeah, because he was making this analogy with when they were in war, sometimes you had to kill one person to save other people, even though they don't have any evidence that Mr. House is actually up to doing anything bad.
Yeah, and they say that in the episode, right?
Yeah, well, basically, yeah, I think.
They know he's got the missile thing, but like even then, they don't know what he's planning on doing with it. As we know, he's planning on using it to deflect missiles. Those, from what I remember, those aren't nukes. They're just missiles to shoot down nukes.
That's the way I interpreted it. But clearly,
I don't think it's like Star Wars, right? The Reagan plan to use those missiles to essentially create a dome to shoot down nukes that was coming into America. It's pretty much that, right? And I don't think those are nuclear devices that are doing that, right? It'd be. I
think you're right. I remember hearing about how Reagan kept telling Gorbachev about that over and over and over again, like it was the coolest thing ever, but nobody wanted it.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like the Iron Dome, isn't it?
I think so, basically.
Like it's just on a bigger scale.
Yeah, and I think America is going to make the Golden Dome, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I don't know. I'll have to look into that. We'll see.
It's going to be even bigger and even more golden than the Iron Dome.
But even then, it's not like nuclear bombs shooting down other nuclear bombs. That doesn't seem like it'd be effective.
But of course, Moldiver the pinko, the commie, that piece of crap. You know, she just wants Mr. House dead. She wants Mr. House's head on a pike. But that's not going to happen.
Yeah. Well, we know it doesn't happen because we see Moldover is some are dead at this point.
Yeah, I think it's confirmed that she's dead. Like,
I don't think she'd survive because, like, the Brotherhood took that. Even if she did survive, I think she'd probably be in a Brotherhood prison cell or something.
I think it was confirmed in a scene with Maximus, actually, that somebody
The last episode,
her.
right?
Yeah, and I think Maximus just took credit for it, even though he didn't kill her. I don't think.
Well, I think she was dead, and he just kind of. I think she just died from her injuries. She was getting shot up out there in the battle, and she just came back in there and tried to bully Maximus for being a part of the Brotherhood, and then just dies.
If I were writing the show, she would have had a much, much, much worse death. I can tell you that. But actually, to be fair, if I were writing the show, she wouldn't exist.
But you gotta have villains. You gotta have villains.
Yeah, true. I mean, especially when they're from the New California Republic.
Yeah.
Good old NCR. Well, not really good for anything, but
But
those are the villains.
Being asked by his friend to murder someone clearly shakes him up. He has to go to the washroom. And
yes.
we meet the star of the show in there.
Yes. For a little bit I was concerned that they were altering Mr. House's sexuality there, but just
so
because,
if it wasn't for Jane, I'm pretty sure Mr. House would be asexual, so...
Yeah, of course he's impervious to these sorts of temptations. He's impervious to any sort of temptations aside from progress.
That's why they removed the content where you could seduce him as a female courier.
Yeah, like if there was a way to change my sex in the game so I could do that, I probably would have done it.
Well, they cut that. They realized Mr. House is too goal-driven to fall for stuff like that.
He's a value-driven individual who wants to change the world for the better. He wants to create the perfect world, and he understands that. He understands that you can't have a utopia, but you can make it a pretty damn amazing place. And there's no better person to do that than Mr. House.
But he clearly is up. He's got to be here because he suspects something, right? Like,
yes, he's clearly again. He's like 35 and a half steps ahead.
Yeah, so clearly Moldaver has like a spy, a Mr. House spy in the midst.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unless this was the theory that, and I don't think it's true, is just like a what if. Like, clearly, like, if this is Anthony, which I don't think it is, but like it would be convenient for him to pop up at a place where they're, he's they're trying to get someone to murder Mr. House.
Yeah, I think that what it is that Mr. House is actually already aware of the plan.
Yeah.
To get
definitely. Like, because
that's just Mr. House. He's always prepared for everything.
Like in any of the Fallout games, if you load into any terminal, it like one of the first things you see is like property of Robco, like Robco copyright. They pretty much own like any. They probably own all the phones. They probably own all the computers. Like, it would be very hard for them not to. I wouldn't be surprised if that hearing device Moldaver gave him was like Robco tech.
That would be interesting, and that would actually be pretty funny if that bit her in the ass. But
unless Moldaver is herself a house plant and
there's no way he would never hire Moldaver.
Well, think about it. She might be trying to weed out any people that might assassinate Mr. House.
She is way too ugly to be based. Story. There's no way. I remember the first time I saw her, I was like, "Who the hell is that nasty looking?"
And it would make sense for maybe Mr. House to get a plant to be the new president of NCR.
I don't think Mr. House wants anything to do. I think if Mr. House was going to do anything, he would just he would what would you say, peacefully conquer the NCR. He would he just gives them some more terms of surrender, and on conditional surrender, and they would just give up their land to Mr. House, and anybody who has any problems with that would be executed by Mark II Securitrons.
Nothing. Yeah, like I said, I don't believe that, but I don't know. That was just because unless Anthony's plan is to kill and then take his place, which I don't think happens. That's the only, he's obsessed with him, right? He wants to kill him and then take his place. That's the only reason I could think of why Anthony would style himself to look just like Robert House.
Yeah, and at the end of the day,
just because they're half brothers doesn't mean they, have the same mustache, have the same hairstyle.
There's no way. And also, if this is the same guy from the first episode, Anthony House would never say that he's Robert's biggest fan. That would just not happen.
Well, I guess it doesn't necessarily have to be a positive thing, right? Fanatic,
true.
Overly obsessed person who plans to murder and take their place.
I feel like Anthony House, though, he kind of, became a bit of a lunatic, and he probably wouldn't admit the fact that he was obsessed.
I'm pretty sure it heavily implies that he is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Understandable. You have Anthony House is this resentful slave archetype, and you have Mr. House is this powerful master archetype. So, just total envy on behalf of Anthony. He's just so jealous, and it drives him insane because he's just not nearly as cool as his brother.
Exactly. But we're getting a little off topic here. They're in the bathroom, and Mr. House immediately knows that what's his name? Eddie Whitehorse, Eddie Whiteknife, something like that.
Charlie or whatever.
Is it Charlie? Is his name Charlie, not Eddie?
Charlie is his first name, and I think you're right about Whiteknife. I think
Whiteknife, Charlie Whiteknife. Okay. He immediately calls him a commie. He immediately knows it. So.
Oh yes, he taught us our new favorite word on the East of Eden podcast, pinko.
Pinko, yeah, that would call me. I've never heard that one before.
No, neither have I, and I should have known that, but I haven't heard it.
Yeah, really. Of all people, you should have immediately known what it was.
Yes, and I've never heard it in my life.
He implies that Cooper Howard might be a little sympathetic towards the Pinko mindset too. Yes,
and clearly Cooper Howard is a little bit, uncomfortable with that, which I like, Mr. House said something, and it sent a shiver down my spine for a second, but then he quickly it actually became kind of based. He said, "I sympathize with the Pinko cause myself," and I literally almost just died on the spot as soon as I heard that. But he clarified. He said because of they don't like these traditional institutions, which I agree with that part of it. It's just, and then he said it's just their answers their answer on how to deal with it. That's the problem. And so this really made Mr. House seem more like a sort of an ANCAP style, figure here. He just wants to get rid of the government, get these tax hat fiends off everybody's backs. So we could have a prosperous and free society. With a strong autocratic leader at the helm.
He says that when someone's back's against a wall, they're capable of doing anything. And at the current political climate within the Fallout world, pretty much everyone's back's against the wall, and there's going to be so many people coming out of everywhere with their own solutions on how to do things. And he's basically predicting how messy it's going to get, which is why he's acquiring this missile defense system to protect his home city, or I'm guessing this is his home city. It's clearly the city he's decided to set his roots in. So,
what sort of system, for example, pushes people up against a wall Not just what Voltek's doing here with potentially causing a nuclear war, but communism. I mean, people can't even feed themselves. Like, I mean, come on,
Yeah.
nothing pushes somebody's back up against a wall more than that. And so I think Mr. House is well aware of what Moldova is really trying to do: create a bunch of bread lines.
Yeah. And Cooper Howard, I guess he he's got some loyalty to his friend. He doesn't like someone insinuating his friend, who's clearly a commie, is a commie. But
yeah, I think Cooper Howard needs to question who his friends really are, because Charlie here, he's trying to make him murder an innocent man.
Yeah,
Mr. House here, he's trying to wake him up.
Even after this, it's honestly I know we're supposed to see the see ourselves from his point of view, but for me it honestly did seem like it was shot in a way to make it seem that Charlie is kind of manipulating Howard, like he's using his emotions, his probably his PTSD to an extent. He brings up how in war they gave me this medal for saving loves, but not the loves I killed to save them, right? Like,
yes.
He's clearly trying to use Cooper's PTSD to get him to go along with this plot to murder someone.
Yeah, I'd say you're probably correct about that, because I do think it seemed like it was shot in a way where Charlie was kind of coming off as being a little manipulative, maybe. I do think that's true.
Which is good, because I think that's good, because it's not really a good thing what they're kind of putting on his shoulders there.
Well, what he's trying to do to Cooper is sort of force this ends justify the means morality on him. Just the idea that it's okay to kill people because of a certain cause, or because you're going to get some sort of effect out of it.
And it's not even that they know. He wasn't the one leading the meeting with the bombs dropping. Obviously they're not going to tell him to put a hit out on his wife, right? Like, they know he'd probably never do that, but they could tell him to bag someone like a high level vault tech, someone who they actually know is planning on dropping these bombs. But all they're going off is an assumption. Like, they're
they don't know anything.
Someone based on an assumption. As Mr. House said in the meeting, they're betting on the hypothetical, right? Like, that's what Mr. House or the Mr. House body double said at the Vault Tech meeting.
Yes,
they're investing a lot in a hypothetical.
Yeah, I think it's just disgusting what these communists are trying to do, and this is what they do throughout history. They say, we want to achieve this end, and we will do absolutely anything, no matter how immoral or disgusting it is, just to achieve that. And whether it's the Bolsheviks or whether it's the frickin' NCR doing it, it doesn't change anything. They're disgusting. They're immoral. They want to slaughter innocent people, whether that be a bunch of Russian peasants or Robert Edwin House. It doesn't matter. And that's what they're trying to get Cooper Howard to do. And Cooper Howard is obviously uncomfortable with that, because he has a sound, sort of built-in moral compass, unlike Charlie White Knife or whatever his name is, and Moldaver, who's just been probably I don't know, devoid of any morals since she was born. I mean, a moral, disgusting hag. No offense, but yuck.
Well, yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see where this goes, because
communism just sucks the life out of you. It sucks the soul out of you, and that's what you look like after you're a communist for so long. You look like a ghoul, except worse.
But then I think we finally go to the Brotherhood, right?
Yes, I believe so.
And it's the meeting, right? He's trying to rally the elders.
Yes, that's right.
And he's giving the speech. He gives a little bit of a lore drop about Roger Maxson. Basically, the story is Roger Maxson. He was a military. I don't know what rank he was, but he was stationed over a military base that was working on, I believe, FEV, which is the forced evolutionary virus. It's what eventually creates the super mutants.
But, yes.
he finds out what they're doing, and he's like kind of appalled by it. So he has like all the scientists executed, and I believe he orders like he sends like a letter of secession that like him and his entire like division is like seceding from the U.S. But like
Hmm.
yeah, I think the thing is that the day like he issues that letter is when the bombs fell, so there's really no one for him to secede from.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was interesting seeing him drop the lore like that.
It's good when they fill some stuff in like that because I think it's really good when they pay attention to detail like that.
Yeah, and but obviously you're and the one you called the elder you said you liked the least, she wasn't wasn't falling for it. She pulls out the alliance,
I
and
mean, I get like not liking this weird cult stuff that's going on in the
yeah,
Brotherhood, but at the end of the day, I mean, she has no right. I mean, I like Quentis better better than Butchface over there.
yeah, and we were trying to remember what areas these chapters were. That
Hmm.
was the Grand Canyon. It was Yosemite.
Was one of them Appalachia? Or
No, Appalachia. None of them were that far. If
okay,
it was Yosemite, Grand Canyon, Coronado. I don't know. I can't remember exactly how to pronounce it. And Quintus's chapter is out of San Fernando, so they're all close to California,
oh,
I
okay,
guess.
yeah, okay.
But like, and I know we talked about it last time. Grand Canyon's obviously all the way in Colorado, right? So
Hmm.
if someone from that far made it to the meeting and someone from the Mojave chapter didn't come to the meeting, that means the Mojave chapter is no longer there,
Yeah,
which means
Veronica got what she
which
deserved.
and clearly it means house always wins. But
Yes. Oh yeah, Veronica was just part of the fun. I mean, uh, I will say, I mean, Mr. House did tell me to deal with the Brotherhood of Steel, and I was more than willing to do it. But as soon as I met Veronica, I just had a whole new level of motivation to blow that little bunker up.
and it was interesting seeing the map too. I know some people said they could see like Big Mountain and the Divide on the map. I couldn't,
Hmm.
but they said it was interesting because we never really got like a geographical, you know, place to put those, like where they are in relation to like New Vegas. All I could find was Nellis and New Vegas and
Hmm.
the Hoover Dam. That's all I could see.
Yeah, I wasn't really able to make out the map too well from when I was looking at it. I didn't look at it for that long, but I did see it 2 or 3 times, and I just
I went back and tried zooming in, but it was just too blurry for me to see.
yeah, it's just not in focus enough.
But it was interesting because, like earlier, or I said, we could see the Legion on there a lot. We didn't see any NCR symbols.
Yeah, that is
We saw a couple symbols that I'm guessing was just like the different Brotherhood chapter symbols, but they had a bunch of
right.
black and I think orange symbols on there, which they didn't explain. I saw someone say that it could possibly be like the black ones were wiped out Brotherhood
Ri-
chapters, and the orange
Right.
ones are possibly ones that are just well. But I don't know. You know, it might just be looking to. I don't. We might not ever get an explanation to that, but
Yeah. So of course we get introduced to Xander a little bit more, and
Sanderhawk,
who
and I
I
believe
didn't think
they say he's a paladin, right? A paladin. They say that's
I
his
think
rank,
so.
right?
I think you're right. And at first I didn't think I was gonna like this guy too much, but ooh, I sure did by the end of the episode.
Yeah, he's very charismatic. Like he brings up that there's a lot of they call them clerics, but I think this is the first time they've been called clerics. I believe in the game they're called the scribes, like the scientist, essentially chapter of the Brotherhood. And
Hmm.
it's typically not common for a scribe or cleric to become an elder. In fact, the only one that or I shouldn't say only, but the most famous example would be Father Elijah from Dead Money. That was like the only example we had of a scribe becoming an elder, and we see how that went. right?
Yeah, yeah. Father Elijah was an interesting fellow.
But he brings up how it's the military guys calling the shots back in the Commonwealth.
Yes. Um,
He's clearly trying to suck up to Maxon, right? Well, first Maxon was kicked out the meeting because he wanted, Quintus happened. Quintus reacts how a normal person would when someone just willingly wants to gleefully murder someone.
yeah. And this is what's strange. How come Quintus has more common sense and a stronger moral compass than Charlie does?
Exactly.
Being a member of the Brotherhood of Steel, I guess the Brotherhood of Steel has a stronger moral compass than the commies, the Pinko.
Clearly. But he kicks him out, and that's when he meets Harkness or Xander, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah, Xander. Yeah, I was very impressed.
He very stresses the importance of this cold fusion device. He in fact he says that's the only thing that could save the Commonwealth chapter from surviving, right? Which is an interesting thing, which I'm almost certain they're gonna bring up again. Like that's too big not to, I believe.
Yeah. So I guess after that with the Brotherhood of Steel, we jump back to the Ghoul before we.
Well, they take off in the
Yeah.
Vertibird.
Yeah.
And I do like that. Maximus is so he's so enamored by his power armor. He's talking about how he's got the upgrades on it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, this one's got the upgraded servos or whatever." And he's like, "What do you mean this one?" And I thought it was funny because in the Fallout 4 like Brotherhood quest line, I think you get like 3 sets of power armor.
Yeah.
Throughout that, you get 3 different sets, and it just goes to show like the technological, I guess, difference between the East Coast and West Coast Brotherhood at this point. I thought it was funny.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not going to get into it yet, but Maximus at the end of this episode, he had a chance to become a good character. He had a chance to become somebody that I had a little bit of respect for, and unfortunately, he just totally failed to do that, as we'll see later on.
But yeah, before we get there, we jump back to the Ghoul, right?
Yes.
Like he's overlooking he sees the situation Lucy is in. He's got to be rolling in his eyes, right? Like,
yeah, it's like
he warned her, and
now
she's like crucified.
Yep. Well, I think the golden rule, the ethical system in Vault 33, I think it's more of a duty-based system than it is a consequence-based system. So I don't, it's more about just doing these things because they're intrinsically good instead of what the consequences of them are. And because at the end of the day, the golden rule didn't work out so well for Lucy.
Yeah.
The only reason she got saved is because she's a useful tool for the Ghoul.
But the Ghoul clearly, he's not stupid. He's not going to try to go in there guns blazing. So he goes to look for some friends.
Even though he does love his daughter, his new daughter figure very much. The theory is true. It's not even a theory anymore. It's just true. So yeah, he goes looking for some friends, looking for some remnants of the NCR
at Camp Golf, which I'm recently finding out. I did not know this. I thought I thought it might have just been a real place in Nevada, the Camp Golf, but apparently it was a resort owned by Mr. House.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Camp Golf. It was a golf resort that was owned by Mr. House, which may explain why we see a certain someone rummaging about.
That's right.
In the abandoned building, we see the NCR is completely out of there.
Like, yeah, big smile on my face when there's not an NCR communist in sight.
Did you go to Camp Golf in?
No, I don't think so. Not that I remember, anyway. I don't think I did.
I mean, outside of the NCR using as a base. It was a pretty good like scale in comparison to the game. It looked almost identical to it.
Yeah. But of course, the ghoul steps foot in there, and you hear a little "howdy there, partner." Is that something along those lines? And we get one of the best moments in the show thus far, where we see Victor boot up, you get rolling around, and we get
Yeah,
a little bit of dialogue between Victor and the ghoul,
and,
and that was just
and it,
insane.
implications that they've met before. He like the ghoul knows his name.
Yeah, the ghoul's really been everywhere.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, Victor sort of implies that Mr. House kind of wanted that cold fusion stuff a little bit.
yeah, but he straight up says that Mr. House ain't around no more.
Yeah, and that was very confusing because he was sort of implying that Mr. House was dead or something, and I didn't.
Yeah, he does apply that, which could bring up the original theory we had where he might be out of commission right now. So he's been disconnected from the Lucky 38 mainframe.
Yeah, it's very possible, and hopefully this doesn't imply that Yes Man somehow, won. I mean, I don't know.
Hopefully not.
That would be insane if Yes Man was the canon ending, but there's no way. Mr. House definitely won. There's way too much stuff pointing to the house.
Yeah, well, maybe it's one of the two. I feel confident in saying it's one of the two.
I mean, it has to be. I mean, I think they did say they weren't going to make any endings canon, right? But at this point, it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, there's way too many aspects that line up with the house always wins.
Yeah, we'll see some later, but it definitely implies one of the two came out on top, right? I mean, obviously, every faction survives, right? Like we see the Legion, we see the NCR,
yeah.
Like we see the Securitron, so Vegas survives somewhat, but I guess it's going to be so far in the future, like something happens. Maybe Mr. House is disconnected, right? Somehow, like this. Maybe even like Yes Man, like this AI does get like somehow hacked into the Lucky 38, and maybe Mr. House needs someone to reactivate him.
Yeah, I think what happened is maybe, like Mr. House was taking a nap or something like that, so he wasn't paying attention, and that little bastard,
possibly,
Yes Man just somehow snuck his little dirty virtual hands into it.
But again, you say, because even the ghoul, he doesn't believe him at first when he says Mr. House ain't around no more. Which he doesn't say he's dead. He says he ain't around anymore, which I think might be a that's a bit of a eyebrow raise, right? Like that's a little curious way of saying it. But he implies that the ghoul doesn't believe him. He knows the house always wins. He even says that Robert had a plan for everything, and he said that his plan required the cold fusion thingamabob or whatever. What does he say? Doodad. Cold fusion doodad. And it cuts back to the ghoul, and he does look somewhat like almost maybe not regretful, but he doesn't look. He looks like yeah, that's my fault. Like he looks not too pleased with a previous choice he may have made. So probably involved in the commies.
Yeah, probably so. I feel one thing that's kind of interesting is that if Mr. House was shut off, how exactly would the ghoul, like we see that he makes it to the Lucky 38 and clearly he talks to Mr. House at some point in the season. So how exactly would he even boot Mr. House back up? Like it's kind of interesting to think about.
Yeah. Someone says it could be I've seen theories say it could just because like we've seen that Yes Man does say he discovered a program within the Lucky 38 files that would make him more assertive, and I've seen theories say that file he downloads essentially turns him into an AI Mr. House.
That would be interesting if that happened.
I prefer it to be actual Mr. House, but it would be interesting, yes.
Yeah, interesting doesn't necessarily imply good, of course, because
Yeah.
what would be good would be Mr. House. And what would be good is that in the season finale, Mr. House hacks into a Liberty Prime. It has a big Mr. House screen on its back. And so we have Mr. House's face on it, of course. And he grabs Maximus, he grabs whatever other communists are around, and he stomps them into the ground with Liberty Prime, and maybe he'll kill Lucy for good measure, because Lucy's a bit of a, weirdo sometimes. Why not? And Stephanie will be turned into, get a brain scan and become Jane 2.0, and they'll have a happy...
That is a interesting theory. We'll have to see how
It's
accurate
gonna
it is.
happen. So
But yeah,
again,
Victor just kind of points him to the NCR remnants in the hills.
yes, where they talk about rights and democracy and publicly funded schools and stuff like that. Well, we all know how public schools turn out in real life. So yeah,
Did
thanks.
Did they talk about that?
Well, they talk about how we're the NCR and we believe in having all these services and human rights and all that cringe stuff.
Which I do want to point out that someone did bring up that the ghoul essentially has to be using the fast travel system because he's at. Well, I guess we don't know where the Legion camp is, but he's in Camp Golf, and all of a sudden the very next scene, he's halfway across the map. We see Prim in the background. Did you see that?
I don't remember if I saw it or not, or if I even noticed.
Yeah, the scene where he's hiking in the hills. You could look off in the background and see the was this Coyote Pete hotel with the roller coaster.
Oh yeah,
The Bison
Okay.
Steve, I think that's what it's called, Coyote Pete. But he finds the NCR base that is just two NCR Rangers. Well, I
No,
don't
I
even know if they're both Rangers. It's just like a soldier and I think a Ranger. Which someone told me that that Ranger is played by Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite, which is
really?
hilarious if that's true.
I mean, to be honest, in the Ghoul's defense, I can get across that map pretty darn quickly. I mean, it only took me maybe
Yeah,
4
true.
hours to make it to the Lucky 38, even though I hardly had anything on me. So I think the Ghoul
Yeah.
could have pulled it off. But, you have these cringe little NCR communists talking about, human rights and democracy, and which democracy, under democracy, you can vote away those rights, and your publicly funded schools with all those NCR taxes. Like, nobody cares. Education's basically useless in the nuclear apocalypse, where you don't even have any infrastructure for education in the first place. I mean, listen, you have Maximus, and he grew up in the Brotherhood of Steel, and look, he's dumb as a rock, and he got an education. He doesn't know anything. He doesn't even know his own biology.
True. But I mean, I think that's more implied that the sort of religious sort of what's the word I'm thinking of?
These sort of zealots.
Repressed. Yeah, like sort
Yeah,
of.
they're like suppressing anything that might be against their worldview, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I caught from that. But I still think he's got a pretty low intelligence.
Yeah. That's the thing. At the end of the day, you gotta do a little bit of deduction or something like that. I mean, he should have been able to understand that there's some sort of cause and effect going on there of his body when these things happen. But because he's never figured that out.
But yeah, these NCR guys definitely gave off the vibe of like those random Japanese soldiers that would come out into islands that have been in there for decades that didn't know the empire fell.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was just wonderful. The Shady Sands, like 20 years ago, that was wonderful. They had no idea. They just thought it was like yesterday because they're a bunch of dumb communists who can't keep track of time. It was just wonderful.
And the ghoul just kind of steals the stuff they offer him and leaves.
Yeah, and you know what really made me happy is when he went back to the Legion and he said,
Yeah,
I found these
turns them
communists. Don't kill these communists. Which ultimately didn't happen. Ultimately, it didn't happen, and that was part of the plan. Well, no, it didn't happen that we know of anyway. But God, I was just so...
If we don't see him again, it happened.
Well, at the end of the day, no matter who wins the Legion Civil War, I don't see why they wouldn't just go and do it anyway. Like they could still go
Yeah,
kill him.
but I believe there are some scenes in the trailer of Kevin the Legate that we haven't seen in the show yet. So
I
I
mean,
do
almost
think,
definitely.
but he he's he snitches on the NCR, which was funny, but uh I mean they're true to the word. They cut Lucy down and they walk away, and he uses his little commie lighter to which I mean fair, right? Like you don't want him coming after you, but he
Yeah.
basically sets off that dynamite, which I guess just triggers it breaks the stalemate, right? Like they
Yes.
were just stuck in a stalemate. They'd probably be in that stalemate for however long, but the ghoul kind of forced their hand, and now I believe the logical progression is Legate Kevin is going to probably be the new Caesar, right? Like,
Probably. He's probably going to be the one that was, this is supposed to be the successor. Because at the end of the day, I mean, he's the biggest actor there, right? So they had to pay
yeah,
him money for something. That's the thing.
yeah.
I definitely think we'll be seeing him again because they casted him and they're making a big deal about him being in the show.
Well, I could see him being a one-off. The one thing that's getting me
Oh, true.
is we've seen I believe two scenes in the trailers that we haven't seen yet of him. So
Yes. I mean, as we've observed, sometimes they'll hire bigger actors and get them a one-off, or roughly a one-off, kind of what they did. We'll see with Xander here soon enough. Because I mean,
yeah,
that guy, I mean, he's fairly famous, I think. I haven't seen anything with him in it, but
I've seen him in a couple things, but I honestly do think this was my favorite thing I've seen him in.
yeah, I know he was like in the Eternals and stuff, which I didn't watch because it seemed like a cringe movie, but.
I've never
Um,
seen it, but
It's just one of those Marvel. It's like a Marvel movie that came out during the pandemic, so I think it was kind of crap. um,
if it didn't do well during the pandemic when everybody's at home watching their streaming sites, that's pretty bad.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
But
I think we cut back to them after that, right? Like,
yes, they get inside the whatever building. Well, inside that factory.
yeah, they
From the
catch like
episode.
a reading in one of this of some warehouse, I believe,
Yes,
and they go down there and they find a Securitron.
and it's not just any Securitron; it's a Mark II Securitron.
Yeah, yeah,
Which,
which
the
confirms
house always wins.
they've had to have been upgraded with the Mark II operating system. However, it does
Absolutely.
seem like it is malfunctioning. Like it keeps glitching out, which is probably why he doesn't, use the missile launchers
Yeah, I
or
think
the
the
grenade
reason
launcher.
for that was probably just because that Securitron was sitting there for a long time, but I could be wrong.
Yeah,
It
probably.
could be connected to Mr. House being down, but it's hard to
Yeah,
say.
yeah. If Mr. House no longer has access to the mainframe, like it could
But
just be, glitching out.
I mean, if you do the Yes Man ending or the Yes Man run, technically he wants you to use the Securitrons as well, right? Like he takes control of
Yeah,
them.
like it's pretty much the same exact thing that happens. They go from the
Yeah.
like police screen to the military screen. But interesting. Well, I guess it's not. It's probably just like a coincidence. Like in Big Mountain, I don't know. I know you didn't do your share of exploring in Big Mountain, but there's a I believe there's an entire Securitron deconstruction plant that which one's the one that hates Mr. House? Dr. Zero, Dr. O, or whatever?
Yeah, I think it was Dr. Zero, maybe.
It's his little personal plant where he's like trying to, you know, I guess reverse engineer the Securitrons. And pretty much everyone in there is glitched out and like hostile. But the screen on the glitched out ones does look very similar to the screen that we see in whenever it's glitching back and forth in the episode between the soldier and the screen. So
Maybe it's possible, like Dr. Klein, Dr. Boris, they're actually behind a lot of the stuff that's going on in the show, and we just don't know it
I
yet.
wouldn't be surprised.
If that were the case, I would be a big fan of that. I would love to see these big mountain scientists on in the show a little bit. It'd be massive.
It would be interesting, but I don't think we're going to see them.
No, unfortunately, I think you're right. But they deal with the Securitron, of course. The
Yeah,
Securitron, if it were fully functioning, Maximus and Xander would have been dead. But that
most
wasn't the case.
likely, most
Yeah,
likely.
of course.
Or at least Maximus would. Xander probably could have weaseled out and came out on top. He could have used Maximus
Yeah,
as like a shield, and
yes, I agree. I agree. It's very possible he could probably pull out of it because he's clearly sort of like this sort of like Brotherhood of Steel Ubermensch sort of character. Somebody who
well, he's a paladin. I don't think any of the Brotherhood we've seen in this West Coast the Quintus chapter, has been a paladin. They've all been knights, I think, right? Like
yeah,
everyone they've mentioned was a
right.
knight, like Knight Titus.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we've got any other names, but like I think Harkness or Xander or whatever you want to call him. Like I believe that's the first character that we've seen that's been given the name Paladin.
Yeah. So he strolls. They do a little stroll through the warehouse or factory or whatnot, and Xander spots a pair of shoes hiding under the table, and he says, "Come on out, kiddies." He says, "Come on out. Nothing to be afraid of," and it must be some friends around. So he whispers to Maximus, or I guess it's not really whispering, but he says, "Jackpot!" And we were on the border of getting one of the best scenes in television history. We were so close. He said, "Jackpot." He says, and then he gets the kids out there, and he says, "Smooth skin kids, you go over there."
Yeah, he starts separating them.
You want you kids with the wrinkles? You stay right there.
Right in front of me.
Right in front of him where he can see him. And just as he's about to pull the goddamn trigger and
Thaddeus
Thaddeus comes out. And he's like, "Could you please not do that?" And, of course, Xander being the Giga Chad that he is, he's like, "Well, I don't actually care about that. I'm following the rules of the Brotherhood of Steel."
The Codex. Follow the Codex.
The Codex that they have established. And just as we're about to see this awesome, anti-mutant moment, because, as Frank Horrigan would have been proud. Kill muties, cut muties' head off, kill throw mutie babies in trash cans, defecate in mutie food, do all that base stuff. Because at the end of the day, muties are not human beings. Muties need to be cleaned up. Muties need to be cleansed. They need to be purified. All that stuff. This is just true. I mean, do we see what ghouls do? We've seen time and time again what ghouls do. They are not to be tolerated. They are to be dealt with. Anyways,
what about Cooper Howard?
Well, I mean, I like the ghoul, but you know what he does? I mean, he still does disgusting ghoul stuff.
True.
Like at the end of the day, if somebody dealt with him, as much as I like the guy, I wouldn't feel that bad. I mean, it's like, okay, I understand why he did that.
So the villain in Fallout 1, the first Fallout, is the Master, he's essentially creating like the super mutants.
Yeah.
His goal is to replace humanity with the super mutants, and he doesn't. An interesting thing I thought was he doesn't like exterminate humans unless they're like against him. Then he exterminates them. Like he gives them a choice to live out the rest of their lives as humans. They just have to get like sterilized.
Yeah, well, thank the house that never happened.
But there's like a little science ending to the first game where you can find out that super mutants are sterile, and if you reveal that to him, it just kind of makes him malfunction and essentially, I think he kills himself. But I haven't gotten that far in Fallout 1, so
that's hilarious.
I know that's the ending. Like you got to find evidence. Like you can't. It's not a speech check. I think you actually have to find like the evidence to back it up to give to him.
Interesting.
That
Anyways,
his master race is sterile.
So we're on the verge of a historic, legendary scene.
Honestly, like memes aside, like that was a very powerful scene that was happening.
And what happens? Guess what? Maximus ruined it. He took the power sledge or whatever it's called, and he smacked Xander on the head with it. I hope Xander's just knocked out. I feel bad for the guy. All he was trying to do is make the world a better place. And what did Maximus do? Maximus made it a worse place. He saved those little dirty muty kids. Like, oh my God, what is wrong with Maximus? He just does everything to make me hate him, episode after episode.
I like how we started this of us talking about how awesome Thaddeus and his small business venture is, and now I wish they would have gotten gunned down.
Well, this isn't the first time that I've contradicted myself. Typically, I contradict myself in only a matter of a couple minutes, if not quicker than that. This one took about an hour. I have said some very contradictory things within very short spans of time so far on this podcast. Not this particular episode, but other ones.
But yeah, and then we get our reunification between Thaddeus and Maximus. You know, they start comparing where their lives are.
Right.
Thaddeus is now a plant manager, and Maximus is starting a civil war, apparently.
Yeah. Well, I like that about Thaddeus. He's a businessman. Yeah, I like the business acumen he's got going on.
Venture capitalist.
Yes, he is indeed a venture capitalist. I mean, once the average cap income per family goes up far enough, these kiddos won't even be working in the factory anymore anyway.
Yeah.
The families, just going to wait for those wages to go up, which they will. They always do, of course. They just need to make
especially when Mr. House brings back the economy in the area.
Yeah, once things get settled down a little bit, Mr. House creates a bunch of jobs. It'll be great. It'll just be fantastic.
I'm sure Mr. House would approve of Thaddeus's warehouse. He probably wouldn't let him set up at the Strip. I'm sure he'd be okay with it.
Well, one has to wonder what would those kids and the mutants been doing otherwise if they didn't have this factory. They would be out basically dead. So it's like in real life, you have these these child labor facilities, but you know what they were doing beforehand? They were slaving away on the farms and dying at the age of like 8 or something. Like, nothing to impede progress. And once the average annual income goes up to about 1,200 caps or so, all the child labor will cease to exist. It'll all be fine, because then all the parents can afford to keep their little muty freaks home. I mean, at the end of the day, Thaddeus probably doesn't want to be employing children because, it's a lot harder to deal with kid employees than it is with adult employees for the most part because they cause a lot more trouble.
Yeah, you gotta hammer in life lessons to them.
Yeah, once the economy grows, as long as you don't have any NCR commies that come and try to disrupt it and distort it, eventually,
I'm sure the NCR has plenty of child labor laws.
Oh yes, of course. I mean, fun fact. 98% of child labor in the United States ceased to be a thing before there was ever any laws against it. I mean, just a fun fact. It doesn't really matter or anything. And that says not really what the podcast is about, but I think it's worth bringing up that 98% decrease in child labor before any legislation was passed to ban it. Just saying. So, but I think you can get around it. I don't think you need to outlaw child labor in the Fallout world. I'm not saying anything about the real world, but in the Fallout world, you absolutely don't have to. It's just fictional. So,
yeah.
Gotta make money somehow. I mean, listen. I mean, if you're that broke, you're not getting any sort of education anyway. You may as well be working. Get some hands-on learning.
But that kind of wrapped up the episode. We got honestly, I think that might have been my favorite so far of the season.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I will say I did really like the first episode. Well, I not like the whole episode, but I just really liked the opening scene because we saw Mr. House in it. You know.
Yeah, and did you see the teaser for episode 4?
No, I didn't. What sort of stuff did you see in it?
I didn't. I only saw the screenshot from it. I guess just lazy of me to not go back and just fast. I've been looking on YouTube for it. I just haven't been able to find it.
Oh, really?
Okay. The episode's called like Demon in the Snow, I believe.
Uh-huh.
And it's the scene from the trailer, one of the first trailers we got where we see like pre-war. We see Cooper Howard in Anchorage in his power armor, and we see in the first trailer that he's looking at something.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks spooked at what he's looking at, and we finally see the teaser shows what he was looking at, and it is a death claw. And a lot of people are thinking, "Oh, this breaks lore," but no, it's actually in lore. And in fact, I believe it was actually mentioned in the Fallout 2 god or something like that, like a companion god to the game. That death claw were essentially like a genetic experiment to kind of replace human soldiers on the battlefield.
Yes. Quick question, because I don't remember. In Fallout New Vegas, that town where you meet Lily and all those other super mutants, what's it called?
Jacobstown.
Jacobstown. Yeah, so bold prediction. So what's the name of this episode again? Demon in the Snow? Is that what?
Demon in the Snow, yeah.
So my prediction is this: in New Vegas, we don't see snow anywhere aside from Jacobstown. When you go into the mountains. So that means in this episode we are going to Jacobstown. I can't wait. It has nothing to do with It has nothing to do with Cooper Howard flashbacks or anything like that. That means that being in Alaska, fighting in any wars, nothing to do with that. It means we're going to Jacobstown, and I absolutely cannot wait for that.
It's possible, and the Demon in the Snow could be a super mutant he meets.
Absolutely. I cannot wait.
Who are you looking forward to meeting Jacobstown, Marcus?
I think I want to see Lily. I want to see Lily in live action. I mean, I like Marcus. Marcus was one chill guy.
Marcus is actually a legacy character. I think he's in like Fallout 1 and 2.
Yeah, I think he actually did tell me that at one point. But I like that. Marcus is a cool guy, and he's just chilling.
And he also does not care for the NCR.
Yeah, so again, I don't mean to... I don't know what you'd say. I don't mean to give these muties a good rap. Again, at the end of the day, I am anti-mutant. I don't want to say he's chill, like that's a good thing. Like, you can describe a mutant as being chill and still think that he should be exterminated. Like,
he's one of the good ones.
One of the good ones, yeah. One of the good ones. Doesn't mean I think he should exist, but...
But, yeah, anyway, like my theory, I think this kind of hints towards my theory that it might be the Enclaves, like, secretly playing their hand here, because we clearly see the flashback of the Death Claw in Anchorage. We know that the Death Claw was an experiment done by the government to replace human soldiers. And I believe in Fallout 76, like, there are terminals and entries that you can find that imply it was the Enclave behind the creation of the Death Claw before the war.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the Enclave plays in all this.
And the Enclave are clearly, they're doing like these mind control experiments on the Death Claws to make them more domesticated. So I think it would make sense that the Enclave is behind these mind control devices that Hank's working on.
Yeah, I think that the Enclave must really be involved. Actually, aren't there literally Deathclaw enemies in the game that have mind control devices on the back of their neck?
I don't think you see any in New Vegas, but they're definitely in Fallout 3. Like, yeah. And in fact, the Wasteland Warfare Fallout like tabletop game where you get like minifigures and stuff for, like, one of the minifigures you can get is a Enclave domesticated Deathclaw. It's got like the mind control device on his head.
Yeah. Of course, if I want any game from the Fallout universe, I want to have the Wakakami game. Uh, I really wish I could have that game. I would be playing that all the time. Good arm exercise. That'd be great arm exercise, just whacking commies off, you know.
And I did see a theory that like, and again, I've talked about it myself. Like, uh, for whatever reason, when Mr. House gets control of Vault 21, he has like half the vault sealed away, like in concrete, just encased in the vault. I saw, or encased, sealed away, pretty much.
Yeah.
And my theory was it. Whenever we saw Mr. House in the trailer, I was like, oh, and we see Hank in a vault somewhere, and we know the season was set in New Vegas, so I assumed Hank was going to Vault 21, right?
Yeah.
And my theory was Mr. House probably sealed it away because he knew whatever technology was in there shouldn't fall back into Vault Tech hands.
Yeah, I think that would be very true. I think that's a very good point. I think there's lots of evidence to suggest that Mr. House is actually anti-Vault Tech and is trying to save the world here.
Yeah, and I saw a theory that the part of the vault he sealed off may have like enclave, like cryopods or whatever in it, and that could even be where Barb is, maybe. But I think it's interesting that this theory. I think it is getting more and more prevalent, and it could possibly tie into why the East Coast Brotherhood is on the verge of losing the Commonwealth.
Yes.
One of the Creation Club add-ons is just called like the Remnants, and the whole story. Now, of course, the Creation Club is the jury's out on whether they're canon or not, but it is official, like Bethesda approved content. So, you know, canon until proven uncanon, I guess.
Yeah.
But the whole plot of it was a bunch of Enclave remnants are like all of a sudden just amassing in the Commonwealth, and you kind of got to stop them. But you know that they could just keep coming until they're a threat to the Brotherhood in the area. And if the Enclave is behind this, I think that it might very well be the case that might be how we get to the East Coast after this season. Because clearly, you know, Pipsqueak's got to join up with them and become a high-ranking member.
Yeah, I guess we didn't really get any Pipsqueak content in this episode, did we?
I do think that might have been another scene I saw in like a teaser of Pipsqueak on a radio to. It seemed like he was sending out a radio to Hank, like he was asking him what to do with all these people from Vault 31 or whatever. I think that was the other scene I saw, but
I'm sure that Hank is going to be a really proud father.
That his son grew up to be a fascist.
Yeah, and nothing wrong with that. Well, there is something wrong with that. I'm of course not identifying myself as fascism or Pippi in any way, shape, or form. I would never do that. Especially Pippi. I really don't like Pippi. Yeah, but hopefully they don't forget about the Stephanie storyline going on in Vault 32 there. That's very important television.
That is the one like that. And I'm gonna just lump her together with Betty, like the Vault 32 and 33. Which one's the manager Vault 31?
Yeah, for Vault 31 is the manager Vault.
Yeah, 32 and 33 are the Stephanie and Betty ones.
Yeah.
Like that's the one I don't see where it's going to go. My theory is that the Vault 31 people are probably going to link up with because the Enclave, you know, they have bases where they monitor the data from the vaults. I think they're going to, like, the remnant of the Enclave is going to say, oh, this vault that we know was going to be like the managers, right? The vault experiment was genetically creating like these super managers.
Yes.
So they're probably going to want to go collect these super managers to possibly help them in, you know, recolonizing America. And I think, you know, Pippi is going to take that mission to heart. He's clearly proud of being the genetic offspring of 200 years of selective breeding. So
Yes, you're proud member of the eugenics program.
So but yeah, Betty and Stephanie. Those are the two that I don't have any predictions of where they're going to go.
Well, of course, I already made my prediction as to what's going to happen with Stephanie. She's going to get her brain scanned and all that. As for Betty, I mean, I don't know. This is the thing that doesn't really make sense about what Voltek's trying to do here. How could you have like a eugenics program and have so many genetically unfit people come out of it? And like literally almost everybody, with the sole exception probably of Stephanie, is genetically unfit for reproduction in Vault 33.
Well, we think it's genetic superiority, right? Because that's what the experiment is. But it clearly seemed like it was all just Bud's like friends. Like they were all kind of. I think it was more of a nepo thing, more so than it was a genetic superiority thing. He just got all his buddies, his little friends in there into the program.
Yes, that's true. That is true. I can't wait to go to Jacobstown in the next episode. That's going to be so much fun.
It is possible.
All the viewers will have their minds blown when I'm correct about this.
Well, when I saw the episode title, that was my first thought too. But then I saw the teaser.
Honestly, I'm surprised it even popped into my head at all.
Yeah, because before I even saw the teaser, I saw like the list of episode names, and whenever I saw the episode "The Demon in the Snow," I was like, "Oh, he's going to meet a super mutant in Jacobstown."
Yeah, because there's only one place with snow, at least in New Vegas.
Yeah.
And that's Jacobstown. I don't remember seeing snow anywhere else. I mean, I didn't go everywhere in the game, but still.
I don't think I've seen snow in any of the 3D games.
Well, the only thing I know is that, watching Maximus, watching Moldaver, watching all these disgusting communist characters like Charlie, it makes me wish for a nuclear winter. And, well, Shady Sands got a nuclear, well, it might not have been wintertime, but they got a little nuclear present courtesy of
I actually saw that apparently the nuke that went off in Shady Sands is the exact same design of nuke that Liberty Prime
tosses around.
Football throws at enemies, at communists.
At the end of the day, the NCR is an illegitimate government that violates individual rights, and it is thusly just to nuke them. If somebody taxes you, they are violating your property rights, and a government that violates property rights that should be toppled. That government is illegitimate. It should be destroyed. And that's what happened. And that was based. And I don't see anything wrong with that. Hank McClain was in the right to do that.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what episode. I'm curious if we'll finally get the. It seems like they're rapidly approaching the Cooper Howard, Mr. House meeting.
That'll be interesting.
I think that might happen in either this episode or the episode after this.
I really hope so. I mean, we got to see more Mr. House content. We're not getting enough.
Yeah, I'm excited. I wasn't one of the people that thought the season was starting slow or whatever, but no. I do think this episode was probably the best out of the season so far.
Yeah. As you would sometimes say, and I'm applying this to myself here, my body is ready, but more particularly, my body is ready for the house.
The house. Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what episode 4 of The Devil in the Snow, or The Demon in the Snow, has in store for us.
Yeah, I absolutely cannot wait. It's going to be absolutely fantastic, I hope.
Yeah. So I guess we'll do it in the next one, right?
Yeah, this is this might be our longest podcast thus far by just
we're We're about to hit 90 minutes.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. All right.
More ad revenue.
Yeah, sure. All right. Episode 3, The Profligate. What are your thoughts?
So I believe we start off. We see Thaddeus again with Chain Gang playing by Sam.
Yeah, that's right.